In the late 15th century, the world stood on the brink of a new era, one defined by ambitious monarchs and the daring explorers they commanded. Driven by a desire to bypass the costly overland trade routes for spices controlled by their rivals, the Portuguese crown looked to the uncharted waters of the great oceans. It was in this climate of intense competition and discovery that King Manuel I of Portugal made a fateful decision, one that would forever alter the course of history. With a flourish of his pen, he signed a royal decree, entrusting the monumental task of finding a sea route to India to a determined nobleman named Vasco da Gama. On July 8, 1497, a sense of anticipation filled the air in Lisbon's bustling port as da Gama's modest fleet of 4 ships, the São Gabriel, São Rafael, Berrio, and a supply vessel, weighed anchor and set sail into the vast, unknown expanse of the Atlantic. The fate of Portugal's commercial ambitions and the dawn of a new age of global trade rested on their journey. The voyage was far from a simple maritime excursion. It was a brutal test of human endurance against the unforgiving forces of nature. As the fleet ventured further south than any European had before, they were mercilessly battered by violent storms that threatened to swallow them whole. Towering waves crashed over the decks, and ferocious winds ripped at the sails, pushing the ships and their crews to the very limit. Beyond the fury of the ocean, a more insidious enemy lurked within the confines of the ships themselves: scurvy. The debilitating disease, caused by a severe lack of vitamin C, spread like wildfire among the men. A grim montage would show once sturdy sailors reduced to gaunt, weak figures, their gums bleeding and their spirits broken. Many perished, their bodies committed to the deep. Yet, through sheer will and navigational skill, da Gama's depleted fleet achieved the unthinkable. They successfully navigated the treacherous, windswept tip of Africa, rounding the Cape of Good Hope and entering the uncharted waters of the Indian Ocean, a feat that had eluded all who came before them. After months of navigating the eastern coast of Africa, a momentous sight greeted the weary sailors: the shores of Calicut, a vibrant and wealthy trading hub on the Malabar coast of India. In May of 1498, the Portuguese ships dropped anchor, their arrival marking the first time a European vessel had reached India via an all-sea route. Vasco da Gama, accompanied by a small contingent of his men, went ashore to meet the powerful local ruler, the Samarim of Calicut. The Portuguese had hoped to awe the Indian court with their presence, but their modest offerings, items like striped cloth, wash basins, and strings of coral beads, were met with derision. In the opulent court of the Samarim, surrounded by unimaginable wealth and sophistication, the simple European gifts were seen as laughably inadequate. The ruler and his courtiers looked on, unimpressed, some even laughing openly at the paltry tribute from these strange newcomers. The initial diplomatic blunder quickly escalated into a tense and hostile standoff. The established Arab and Muslim traders who dominated the lucrative spice trade in Calicut saw the Portuguese as a direct threat to their monopoly and worked tirelessly to undermine their efforts. Negotiations with the Samarim soured, and the atmosphere became thick with suspicion and hostility. Realizing his position was precarious, da Gama made a bold move. He briefly took several local nobles and priests hostage to secure his departure and managed to trade his remaining goods for a precious cargo of spices, cinnamon, cloves, and pepper. With his mission partially accomplished but his diplomatic efforts a failure, da Gama ordered his crew to load the invaluable spices. The voyage back was just as arduous as the journey out, and by the time they neared home, only 2 ships, the São Gabriel and the Berrio, remained. Despite the immense loss of life and ships, the return of Vasco da Gama to Portugal in 1499 was a triumph of monumental proportions. He had succeeded where all others had failed, forging a direct maritime link between Europe and the riches of the East. A map of the world would now be redrawn, tracing the new revolutionary sea route that snaked down the coast of Africa, around the Cape of Good Hope, and across the Indian Ocean to India. This voyage not only shattered the Venetian and Muslim monopoly on the spice trade, but also heralded the beginning of a new chapter of global interaction. one that would see the rise of European colonial empires and the creation of a truly interconnected world. In a final, powerful shot, we see Vasco da Gama, his face weathered by the sun and sea, looking out at the endless ocean, his gaze fixed on the horizon. A man whose single voyage secured his place in history and set in motion a tidal wave of change that would reshape the globe for centuries to come.